Hello, and welcome to Lesson 7 of IDSEI's certification program. You've already made it through 6 lessons, and you must be feeling enlightened with knowledge. Give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. My name is Ray, and it is my pleasure to be coaching you on one of the most important elements every network marketer must master in order to pave a smooth steering path to success. Any idea what it may be? Well, if you guessed team building, then you are right. Let's get started. Assume for a moment that you're the world's best retailer. You know your product line inside and out. You're a great communicator. You build all your presentations around benefits to the buyer. Your closing rate is 95%, and you're accomplishing all your personal and financial goals through retailing. You're happy running a successful one-person enterprise and have no desire to build a big organization. Then one phone call shakes you out of your comfort zone. A client says she's so impressed with the product and your presentation skills that she wants you to sponsor her into the business. "I know everybody in town," she shouts. "I can introduce you to hundreds of people who need these products, and I know many of them will jump at the opportunity to join in your business." Your new person turns out to be a fireball. In a matter of days, she recruits 10 people, and each of them recruits a couple more. Suddenly, you've gone from being a solo retailer to a team leader. Sounds a bit scary, I know. Life was so much simpler before people started joining you in your business. Less profitable, for sure, but simple. Now, as a team leader, new recruits call you asking for advice. Your new people are eager to get started, and they desperately need training. You've never thought of yourself as a leader before, but there are a dozen people in your group who, with guidance and direction, could become bigger producers. Since you were doing just fine retailing by yourself, why bother to take on the responsibility of building a team anyway? Short answer, the newfound responsibility is worth it. And here's why. Let's say, as a super salesperson, you retail, on average, $200 of product a day, 5 days a week. That's $1,000 a week or $4,000 a month of gross sales. Very impressive. Now assume you have 10 people in your organization who are only half as good as you are at retailing. Each of them averages $100 a day, 5 days a week, for a total of $500 each. But wait, because there are 10 of them, their total volume is $5,000 a week or $20,000 a month, which is 5 times your total volume if you were to retail alone. Each member on your team is half as good as you are at retailing, but combined, they produce 5 times more volume than you. That's the power of teams. The key to security in direct selling is a lot of people doing a little bit together, instead of just one person doing everything alone. But the success lies in the knowledge and effort in building a successful team. For a team to become successful, everyone must be pulling in the same direction. And the only way that can happen is through effective team building. John Maxwell's book, The 17 Essential Qualities of a Team Player, is a wonderful guide to effective team building. We don't have time to discuss each of the qualities enumerated in John Maxwell's book, so we will focus on his 4 key fundamentals of team building. The first key fundamental is building dreams. We all have dreams, big, small, and in between. The key to dream building isn't the size of the dream or the number. The key is in its relevance to each person's life and the impact it can make when achieved. For example, many people join direct selling companies with the dream of earning enough money to pay for their children's university education. That's certainly a worthwhile and achievable dream. But that dream wouldn't motivate someone whose kids are grown and on their own, would it? The key to effective dream building is to recognize that every new prospect's most burning question is, what's in it for me? People are motivated to act in their own best interest, which is why the fire that drives people's motivations is fueled by their own relevant dreams. Now, as a leader, it's your job to encourage people to give themselves permission to dream, to write those dreams down, and to set up an action plan that can turn those dreams into reality. Truth is, Most people minimize their dreams to match their income expectations. As a team leader, it's your job to encourage people to dream big and make it happen through direct selling. When it comes to dream building, there are two schools of thought. One school encourages people to expand their self-imposed limitations by dreaming big. The other school says new recruits should start with smaller dreams that can be achieved in shorter periods of time and then move to bigger dreams as people have successes. Now, both approaches work, and different approaches work with different people. So get to know your people, because it's up to you to decide how best to build your team. How can you help a new recruit realize their own dream? The best way to get prospects and new recruits to reveal their dreams is by asking questions. This can be done one-on-one or in groups. Again, encourage your people to write down their dreams and review them daily. Dreams motivate people to work for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow instead of quitting during the stormy periods. And rest assured, in direct selling, as in life, there will be stormy periods. I'm going to state some great questions that you can use to help your new recruits realize their bigger, long-term dreams. If money and time were not an object, what would you be doing with your life? Where would you live? What would you drive? What would you do in your spare time? Or what is your idea of a dream vacation? Where would you go? Who would you take with you? What would you do? Lie on the beach? Play golf? Read books? Or what do you really want out of a career? More money? More recognition? More travel? More friends? More personal growth? More challenges? More time with the family? Setting your own hours? Working from home? Now I will state some questions for inspiring smaller, more immediate dreams. If you could earn an extra $200 to $500 a month, what would you do with it? Pay off a credit card debt? Save for emergency fund? Reduce the principal on your mortgage? Or what do you value the most in your life? Your health? Your family? Time to yourself? Freedom from a boss? How would an extra $200 to $500 a month help you better express those values? Dream building is a big part of the self-discovery process. After all, if someone doesn't have a dream, how can they have a dream come true? We've covered the first key fundamental of team building. We spoke a lot about building the dreams of your new recruits. And now you have the right questions to ask that will bring inspiring and positive thoughts on their future. On that note, let us move on to the second key fundamental of team building: positive thinking. Negativity comes so easily and naturally to us. Why? Well, according to social scientists, humans are wired from birth to respond more strongly to negative stimuli than positive. Each fresh fragment of negative news grabs our attention and excites us. That's why negativity dominates the news media. Humans are drawn to negativity like moths to a porch light. Dr. Steve W. Price, author of Worldwide Whiners, argues that by definition, news isn't news unless it's negative. The more shocking, criminal, or controversial the news is, the more humans are drawn to it. When it comes to team building, constant negativity is deadly. It's impossible to build a strong, productive team when your people are constantly complaining, bickering, fearful, suspicious, and critical. As a leader, you must counteract negativity by creating a positive culture. I'm going to take you through some suggestions for neutralizing negativity in your team. First and foremost, always lead by example. You're the face of your organization, which means if you want your group to be positive, you have to be positive. Greet people with a smile and a firm handshake or a warm hug. Compliment people often, especially in group settings. If you must reprimand someone, always do it in private. Deliver your presentations with energy and passion. When someone asks how you're doing, respond with terrific and mean it. Secondly, you need to demonstrate the positive effects of good posture. You wouldn't buy a product from a frowning salesperson who slouched into the room, flopped onto a chair, and asked you in a flat voice, "You wouldn't want to buy any of this, would you?" No, you wouldn't. and no one else would either. Before a new person makes a presentation, make sure they have received training on positive posture. Stress the need to stand up straight, greet people with a firm handshake, look people in the eye, control the length and tone of the presentations, and handle objections with grace and confidence. And last but not least, promote as many best-selling books, tapes, and tools on positive thinking. Most people recognize that a constant diet of negativity won't help them get what they want out of life. They admire positive people and wish they could be like them, but they don't know what to do about it. Help them replace negative thoughts by recommending positive books, tapes, and tools. Great starter books are Jeff Keller's Attitude is Everything and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale's classic, The Power of Positive Thinking, which has sold more than 20 million copies since it was first published in 1952. So far, we've learned that building dreams and building positive thinking are key fundamentals for any network marketer to establish the best team possible. What is the third key fundamental? Building your people to build your business. In the business school, Robert Kiyosaki argues that the biggest benefit of joining a direct selling company is personal growth, because the skills people learn while working in direct selling will serve them well in any business endeavor. The beauty of direct selling is that anyone from any background can join the business and work their way to the top. It's the most democratic business on the planet. In direct selling, it's not where you start that counts, but where you end up. Some recruits start with college diplomas and never do anything in the business. Others start as high school dropouts and end up as top producers. In this business, the key to success isn't how much you already know on your first day in the business, but how much you're willing to learn and grow in the months and years ahead. In this business, attitude trumps aptitude. A positive, open-minded, coachable waiter will outperform a know-it-all middle manager every time. As a team leader, it's your job to spot the diamonds in the rough and offer them mentorship and tools they need to smooth and polish their rough edges. And last but not least, the fourth key fundamental is building commitment to the community. When people hear the word community, the first thing that comes to mind is their neighborhood or town. But in today's wired world, shared values and interests define a community more than geographical boundaries. There are scientific communities, law enforcement communities, religious communities, theatrical communities, investment communities. The list keeps growing by the day. Each direct selling company is a community of distributors sharing the same basic values, interests, culture, and traditions. Most recruits join a particular direct selling company because of the products and the profit potential, but they end up staying because of the people. As they attend trainings and live events and work the business, recruits are surprised to discover a community unlike any they've experienced before, and they love it. The need to belong is one of our strongest drives, right after food, water, shelter, and safety. We long to belong, goes the old saying, and that longing leads people to join everything from monasteries to motorcycle gangs. Although the shared values are vastly different, both these communities satisfy each member's inborn need to belong. Today, we live in a tolerant, permissible society where anything goes. As a result, many people are rudderless, sailing aimlessly in a sea of conflicting values, not knowing what to think or believe. They're desperate to belong to a community. But there are so many to choose from that they don't know which ones to join. Then one day, they get involved in direct selling for the opportunity, only to discover a values-based community. And they think, I love being around all these positive people. Where has this been all my life? Why the instant love affair? Because for the first time in their lives, they're surrounded by positive people who want to lift them up and help them grow. You see, direct selling is a values-based community. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Zig Ziglar said that. One thing direct selling companies are crystal clear about is what they stand for. Here's a partial list of the positive can-do values espoused by virtually every direct selling company. A positive, welcoming environment, A democratic opportunity with no discrimination and no glass ceilings? A hand up instead of a handout to newcomers? Recognition for a job well done? Compensation based on what you do, not who you know? Recruits are encouraged to climb the ladder to the top instead of being held back by an insecure or incompetent boss. Sharing, caring people. And the philosophy that giving is the best part of living. And don't forget to always practice and preach the principles. Building commitment to the community is an ongoing process, not a one-time thing. So you have to create occasions to remind your team members of the core values of your community. You do that with weekly or monthly meetings and events, motivational tapes and tools, frequent phone calls, workshops and seminars, one-on-one mentoring sessions, email blasts, conference calls, webinars, regional and national conferences, award ceremonies, and guest speakers and trainers. Great coaches motivate their players by constantly reminding them to practice the values that build character and create winners. Preach the principles to make your opportunity special to your team early and often, and prosperity will follow. That about covers all you need to know on team building. Use your knowledge wisely and immediately, and you will be swimming in success very soon. I wish you all the best in developing the best network marketing team out there.